Hey! So this video today is just pretty much going to be how I apply my Temptu silicone based airbrush makeup. So if you are interested, please keep watching. Now, as you saw in my first video, my first ever time applying silicone based airbrush makeup, I did have a lot of trouble applying it. Since then, I've practiced a little bit more. I feel like I've come to a point where I am actually finally comfortable with silicone based airbrush makeup. At least enough to go ahead and complete an application and then hopefully give you my final thoughts very soon. So without further ado, let's get on to the process.
So the first thing I'm going to do is apply my Temptu Silicone Base Primer. And then the next step is to apply concealer using the SB concealer wheel. I'm just going to go ahead and apply this to the under eye area. So I do have to mix two colors to get the right color for my under eye area. So if you're having trouble, just go ahead and play around with the different colors in the wheel. Next step is to apply a highlight, and here I just wanted to use a lighter tone on my under eye area, the bridge of my nose, middle of my forehead, da 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 da. Anyways, the shade that I'm using here I believe is shade number 3. But I can double check, but I'm pretty sure it's shade 3. Anyways, it's the lightest of the yellow based shades that came in the starter kit. Next, I'm going to go ahead and go in with my foundation, and here I'm using shade number 6. I'm just going to go ahead and start from the ear and then just move down the jawline. Now, it's going to take me a few passes, so this is the first pass using silicone-based airbrush makeup. Now, my compressor dial is at the recommended setting. If you have a Temptu compressor, you know that there's like a little dial, and on the dial there's like a little wedge where it's supposed to be I guess the happy place for a silicone based makeup application. So that's where my dial is. So as you can see, I'm just going in small circular motions, kind of taking the time to concentrate areas that need a little bit more coverage. Now this is my second pass, so I'm just going to go ahead and start down my nose and then continue to do my coverage like so. It does take a little bit longer to get used to or get the hang of silicone based airbrush makeup and applying it, so don't get discouraged if you don't know how to do it off the bat. You know, just keep practicing, keep trying, and you'll pick it up. Okay, as you can see, I can still see some of my blemishes coming through, so I just want to cover them a little bit more. So I'm going to apply another layer. So each time I applied layers, the first time I applied the first 2 layers, I used about 9 drops. This time I used about 7 more drops in my airbrush gun. So it seems like it's a lot of drops, but I need more coverage. So, you know, if you need less coverage, of course you'll use less drops. And the really nice thing that I found about silicone-based airbrush makeup is that it gives you a really natural finish. So if you already have really clear skin and you just want to even out your tone, this makeup is perfect for you. Here I'm just continuing the process of applying more silicone-based airbrush makeup to my face. Now I just want to get as even of a coverage as I possibly can. Now I did notice that with the silicone-based airbrush makeup that the coverage was very sheer. Although it's very, very buildable, I did notice that I had a really hard time covering my blemishes and things like that. So I know I can't cover my blemishes with silicone-based alone, but I do want to diminish the appearance of them. And if you really want to cover your blemishes, just go ahead and use some concealer. So here, there's nothing in the cup. I cleaned it out already, and I want to show you I'm just using the air from the airbrush gun and the compressor to kind of set my makeup a little bit to kind of speed the process, because with silicone based, you do have to wait in between applying any other type of makeup. Oh, and before I dried my makeup, I did use Anastasia Beverly Hills for my brows. And now I'm just going to go ahead and set my makeup with the setting powder that I purchased separately from my kit. And this is Temptu's Invisible Difference Setting Powder in shade medium. And I'm just going to go ahead and continue to press it into my skin like so. Now, if you have oily skin like I do, you should know that silicone-based airbrush makeup has a dewy finish, so it is going to be shiny. So if you have oily skin, definitely recommend that you use a finishing powder like I'm using here. And once you're finished applying your powder, this is the end result of a completed silicone-based airbrush makeup application.
So that is how I apply silicone-based airbrush makeup, at least Temptu silicone-based airbrush makeup. So as you can see, it's a lot different from when I first started out. Of course, silicone-based just takes a little bit more time. I think for me the hardest thing was the difference in pressure between when you apply water-based foundations as opposed to silicone-based. The pressure is a lot higher, so you know, it makes I don't know, I guess I got a little nervous the first few times, but once you get used to it, it's a breeze from there. So I will be filming my final thoughts video on silicone based airbrush makeup, so just stay tuned for that. And I just wanted to thank you so much for watching this video, and I hope it was helpful, and I hope it gave you a little bit of insight to applying silicone-based airbrush makeup for a beginner. So if you have any questions, concerns, or comments, please put them in the comment box below. Otherwise, thank you so much for watching, and please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe.
And just in case you're wondering what makeup I use other than the silicone-based foundation, for my bronzer, I used Milani's Baked Bronzer in Soleil. For my blush, I used Milani's Baked Blush in Luminoso. For my eyeshadow, I used a Coastal Scents Hot Pot palette that I did put together myself. And that's that for other products used. Thanks again for watching. Bye!